Hey everybody, before we get started, I just wanted to say, if you enjoy our content and want to stay up to date with our videos, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Thanks. So, on to the video.
The next day, the party heads to northern Yaktel for the Feat of Repast. In this feat, the claimants have to work in teams. Luckily, Wuklamot and Koana are paired together, and the other team is Zoral Jah and Bakul Jaja. The claimants have to cook a sample of Jabra cuisine, Jabruk Pibil. The other claimants seem annoyed at another ludicrous feat, but Wuklamot and Koana believe there must be a deeper meaning to it. Wuklamot summarizes to know of a people's cuisine is to know something of their culture and their ways. The party then spreads out to learn what ingredients the dish requires and how to prepare it. This eventually leads you to the border between the Jabra and the Mamulja people. You learn after the Yakui left these lands, the two clans fought and slaughtered each other for many years. Until 80 years ago, Golul Jaja intervened. He and his party fought both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill. Then at Golul Jaja's behest, both sides gathered to negotiate. He tries to convince the clans to work together, as it's possible one day those across the sea will invade and not stop only at one forest. He points to his companion Ketamram, a Rogan from Eorzea. His people have the technology to cross the vast sea, and one day they will come to Tural. The clans are hesitant to drop old grudges, but they are all impressed by Golul Jaja and his companion's strength when working together. Golul Jaja believes him and his companions are an example of how strong Tural can be if they all work together. A banquet is then held to attempt to find some middle ground between the two clans. During the banquet, Golul Jaja convinced the two clans to combine and share their foods, and in the process, he worked with them to create a new dish. This is where Jabruk Pibil comes from, and it is the proof of the newfound cooperation between the two clans. Once you finish learning the significance of the dish and collect the necessary ingredients, you head back to the Jabra Elector to cook your dish and be judged. Your team is successful in creating the dish, winning your keystones. The other team was not able to recreate the dish as they were missing key ingredients. Crowd connects with Zoral Jah through the echo again. His ambition only grows, and she describes dark thoughts aimed towards his siblings. Zoral Jah quietly turns around and leaves the area. Bakul Jaja claims the feat was stupid and that he can always take what he needs later. Later that day, the Jabra Elector asks you to meet him alone. He asks about your adventures so far with Wuklamot. It is revealed that this man is Wuklamot's true father. Jabra females are rarely born and are often raised to statuses of leadership among their people. One day, a young Wuklamot was pushed into a cenote, nearly drowning her. Her father caught a glimpse of someone running back to the Mamulja village. In order to protect her and keep the peace between the clans, he gave up his daughter to Golul Jaja to raise her. Only the two fathers and yourself now know the truth. He revealed the truth to you only to ask you to protect Wuklamot, as he believes hatred for the Jabra still brews in Mamuk, and he does not want history to repeat itself. You agree to watch over her and head back to meet with Wuklamot. After you both catch up, the both of you are approached by one of Bakul Jaja's cronies. He simply says it would be a good idea to follow him. If not, she would regret it. You are led to Bakul Jaja, who is holding the Elector, Wuklamot's real father, hostage. His men overheard your conversation with the Elector earlier and plans to use him as leverage. In the process, Bakul Jaja reveals the truth of her origins to Wuklamot. He then baits her into a fight for the remaining keystones, threatening to kill the hostage if the Warrior of Light interferes in any way. Wuklamot agrees and is victorious, and Bakul Jaja kneels broken. She tells him no more. He has harassed her people long enough, and she gives him a final warning that it ends here. If she hears he is up to no good again, he will have to answer to her. The blessed siblings say nothing and only look to the ground in defeat. An image from their past comes over their mind. A mountain of objects that look somewhat like urns of the dead. The Mamulja grasps his head and begins to run and scream in panic. Bakul Jaja's minions agree they have been defeated and let the hostage go. Wuklamot recovers her keystone. She then faces her true blood father and asks if what Bakul Jaja said was true. He simply says yes, and that it has been an honor to bear witness to the Promise's journey. She accepts his answer and confirms to herself Her father is Galul Jaja, Dawn Servant. Back in Koana's camp, he is lost in thought. He's begun to realize how disconnected he is from his people, as he has been ignoring their concerns as he forces new technologies on them. Thancred and Urianger relate to Koana's inability to connect and give him some sound advice. Later, your parties gather and make their way to Mamuk. When you arrive, you attempt to talk to the villagers to get more information on the Mamulja Elector, but none of the villagers will give you the time of day. Clearly, they are not fond of outsiders. While investigating, you're summoned by Alize via Link Pearl. Something's happened. You head to her location where you find Zoral Ja defeated by what appears to be Galul Jaja. Alphano explains it is not truly him. It is a shade of Galul Jaja at his prime, using arcane magic. The feat is to defeat Galul Jaja's shade. Having lost against the shade, it seems as though Zoral Ja attempted to take the keystone by force, as the Mamulja Elector disqualifies him from the rite of succession. Zoral Ja's retainer says something to him, and the two walk away in defeat, the retainer promising he will be the one to find the Golden City. Afterwards, a defeated Bakul Jaja arrives. The Elector is happy to see him, calling him son. He asks him to show his keystones. He only has 2. His father is furious with him, but suggests to take them by force from the other claimants. Bakul Jaja denies his father's wishes, saying he cannot beat them. His father then goes into a rage, saying that he is useless as the rest of his siblings. He banishes Bakul Jaja, telling him to never show his face again. He then continues to rant, but behind him, a female Mamulja can be seen, saddened by Bakul Jaja's banishment. The Elector then states that it is no issue. He believes Wuklama and Koana will fail to claim the final keystone, and Galul Jaja will have no choice but to extend his rule, and by then, they will have a new, promising claimant. Wuklamat says she will not do the feat, not yet. Her father wanted her to learn about all of her peoples of Tural, and she still needs to learn the ways of the Mamulja. Koana is of the same mind. The Elector leaves the area annoyed, but behind him, the female Mamulja stops and asks Wuklamat to meet her in the outskirts of town. When you meet with her, she asks Wuklamat what she thinks about Mamuk. She says not much, as no one will talk to her. The woman then says that most people living in Mamuk are traditionalists, who believe blessed siblings are superior, believing only they are strong enough to lead this continent. Galul Jaja uniting the land and becoming the Dawn Servant only fanned these obsessions. She said she is tired of this senselessness and wishes to do away with blessed siblings. She wants to show her people that Galul Jaja's true strength did not come from his birth, but from his character. Wuklama understands, but finds it odd they would want to stop more blessed siblings from being born. The female Mamujal then leads you to Sky Deep Cenote to show everyone the price of blessed siblings. The Sky Deep Cenote is an ancient Yaqui structure, but when the Mamulja took over, it was converted for something else. And down in the depths, you find Bakul Jaja alone.
Bakul Jaja?
What? Couldn't wait to laugh at the failure?
You've always come here to cry. Ever since you were little.
Mother!
The third promise seeks to learn about Mamuk. She may be our chance to finally end what we have been powerless to stop. Talk with her. Tell her what we have done.
Fine. Perhaps it's only right that we be the ones to speak of it. Blessed as we are. Here. This vessel holds the remains of a two-headed Babonja. An infant. converted the ruins into a cenotaph, so the souls of these children wouldn't return as vengeful spirits. Do you know how blessed siblings are made?
I've heard that they are born to Hubago and Bunawa parents.
Such unions between clans were originally arranged to stop infighting. The war against the Shibral was going poorly, and we needed to be united. Then, one day, a child was born. One blessed with 2 heads and tremendous power.
When this child grew old enough to lead our army, we became unstoppable. The Shibral had no answer, and we drove them all the way back to the trees above. That taste of victory awakened our greed. We became obsessed with conceiving more and more of these superior children, no matter the cost. Of the countless born, most die, trapped in their shells.
Only 1 in 100 survive.
If we are blessed, it is only because we yet live. Unlike our brothers and sisters, who were sacrificed for the glory of Mamuk.
That's horrible.
Of course it's horrible. It's an atrocity we can never take back. Those children died so that we could live. So we had to succeed, no matter what. To fail would mean it was all for nothing. Nothing. But I did fail. I squandered their sacrifice. I should never have been born.
You're wrong. You didn't ask to be born as you are, and you aren't responsible for your siblings' deaths. The people obsessed with blessed siblings are. They made their choices, but they don't make yours. Since when do you let others push you around, Bakul Jaja? What do you want? Say it!
I want it to end. I don't want any more to die.
Then you have my word. We'll put a stop to this madness.
After revealing the truth, Wuklamat promises to put an end to the creation of blessed siblings. In order to do that, they need to find out why the Momul Jah put so much faith in them. Bakul Jaja helps by handing over one of his scales, a sign that you're a trusted ally. Wuklamat does not forgive Bakul Jaja for all the horrible things he's done, but she now understands his desperation to win, as the burden of his people's legacy was heavy. She vows to make sure his people never feel so desperate again that they would turn to created blessed siblings. Your party gathers all those who wish to talk. Wuklamat invites Koana to hear their concerns as well. After gathering information, you come to the conclusion that it is the forest the Mamul Jah live in that is the problem. The forest has little resources, and due to the constant shade from trees, little is able to grow, and it is also believed that the land is cursed, and they looked to the blessed siblings as an avenue out of the forest. After studying the forest with Koana's help, a solution is found. The meteorites scattered around the forest affect plant life greatly. Only certain plants are able to survive under these conditions. So using Erenville's connections and the data your party gathered, shipments from Sharlayan are being sent containing different plants and crops that may thrive in these conditions, giving the Mumulja an opportunity to finally cultivate the land and engage in trade. The people of Mamuk are surprised the solution sounded so simple, but they're willing to try something new. It will mean the end of sacrificing for blessed siblings. Wuklamat is now ready to face her father's shade, but before the battle starts, Koana joins to help. He throws his tablet in the air and shoots it, renouncing his candidacy. He simply says he has come to realize who is worth following in his father's footsteps. Not him, not his brother, Wuklamat. You and your companions battle the Dawn Servant's shade, and Wuklamat is successful in claiming her final keystone. The Mumulja Elector is hesitant in giving away the keystone, but he is convinced by a Rogadan stranger. This man is one of Gulul Jaja's companions, Ketenram, a famous sailor from Eorzea that went missing quite some time ago. Ketenram describes Gulul Jaja as a brother. He was assigned by the Dawn Servant to keep an eye on Mamuk and keep the peace in the forest. While talking with the old sailor, Krau deduces the location of the Golden City. It must be somewhere deep underneath Yaktel, as the giants only dreamed of the city when they lived in the area, and those who dreamed were all miners. Her grandfather, Galef, was also seen in the area 20 years ago. After asking around for more information, you deduce it must be down below, past the gates, in the sky deep cenote. Once you travel deep below the ancient Yaqui structure, you find a large purple and gold building. Before you can get any closer, you are stopped by a giant guardian that seems to be made up of the same material. Clearly, as you dove further down into the depths of the sky deep cenote, you found signs of technology that should not have been available to the giants. Alphino studies the technology and believes this must be from a new ancient civilization they've never heard of, as it looks nothing like Allegan technology or any of their close relatives. In the distance, Krau can see a gate surrounded by a golden light. The party takes a closer step to investigate the structure, and upon closer look, the structure is sealed by Sharlayan technology. Alphino finds a nearby pedestal that would obviously fit the tablets and the keystones your party's been collecting on their adventure. Once set in their place, the Sharlayan device turns off, and the gates into the golden structure open. Inside is even more black and gold material. In the center is something that looks sort of like a gate. Before you can investigate further, your party is surprised by Gulul Jaja, congratulating you on finding the entrance to the Golden City and winning the Rite of Succession. Everyone is happy to realize the rite is now over and Wuklamat was victorious. But Krau still remains curious about the gate, as the technology on display is nothing like anything in Tural. She is curious what lies beyond the door in front of them. Gulul Jaja tells Krau that behind the gate is the Golden City of Legend, but currently, circumstance prevents them from opening the gate. He reassures Krau and Wuklamat that after her ascension, he plans to reveal everything about the Golden City and how it ties to Galef. Erenville looks up and reminisces on his lifelong journey to find the Golden City, and he is happy he found it. Gulul Jaja invites everyone to return to Tuliolal to get some well-deserved rest. At night, you're visited by Koana, who wants to properly thank you for guiding his sister along her journey. He also came over to deliver a message. Wuklamat desires for you to accept a spot in her administration. Koana hints that Wuklamat has not extended her own brother this courtesy yet. He says that there is no rush for an answer, and Wuklamat will bring it up again after her ascension. Koana leaves the building, letting you know how irreplaceable you have become to his sister, and that it makes him a little bit jealous. He hopes, no matter your answer, that you continue to be in Wuklamat's life. Then comes the day of Ascension. Wuklamat gives a heartfelt speech describing everything she learned on her journey through Tural. During her speech, she hints that she will not be ruling alone. She jumps off the balcony and talks further of her plans. Gulul Jaja ruled with his two heads, the vow resolve and vow reason. She believes Her head can only take their country so far, so she will be needing someone else. She invites Koana to be Dawn's servant alongside her. She will take resolve, and he will take reason. Gulul Jaja approves of the idea, but Koana needs to win over the peoples himself. Koana then speaks from the heart to the peoples of Tuliyollal, describing what he learned on his own journey and realizing his shortcomings. He vows to help Tuliyollal prosper in a way that honors the hopes and heritage of all her peoples. The people of Tuliyollal accept Koana's vow. Wuklamot then reveals a statue that was carved depicting their journey to become Dawn servants. She assures her brother that inviting him to rule alongside her was not done on a whim. She thought a lot about it and realized it was the best answer for the future of their people. Gulul Jaja comes down and describes how his brother would have been proud. He reveals that the vow of reason passed away 3 years ago. The people are shocked at his passing. Wuklamot always knew inside, but didn't want to believe it. The vow of reason wanted their people to rest easy until their replacement was chosen. He was the one who set up the idea for the rite of succession before he passed away, leaving the vow of resolve to finish the job. Gulul Jaja announces the rise of the new Dawn servants. But while the city of Tuliyollal celebrated, we cut back to Kenton Ram in Yoctel being attacked by an unknown assailant.